We are in the process of a major social migration. So what do I mean when I say that? Cities like New York, Chicago, San Francisco, and LA, the major city centers where our young people go, the rainmakers, the cutting edge people, the talent of I would say our society, have been going to these cities to create businesses, to create cutting edge technology, to reinvent how we do things. What's happening? I live on the East Coast, so I'm mostly seeing migration from New York City and Chicago. On the West Coast, San Francisco and LA, they're spreading out too. They're moving away from city centers. Why? In mass transit systems, you catch COVID. You're on a subway, a bus, a train, you stay too long, you'll get COVID, right? And now the lockdowns have shut down their favorite restaurants, bars, hangout places. I realize now, after talking with people for the past 7 months during this COVID isolation, their job was one thing, but the restaurants and the bars, that's half their day. Half their life, maybe more, was carried out in those restaurants, those bars, and those fitness centers that they went to. That was half their life. Work was half their life. And when I say that, that's where they met people, that's where they did things, that's where they created bonds, that's where they learned things, that's where they created business partners, that's where they learned to create new things and got ideas. So moving away from these dangerous COVID places where you get COVID, like mass transportation, and they're moving away from their favorite restaurants and bars were locked down. Also, the cities where the crime, the looting, their favorite grocery store, their favorite business, their deli, their stores that they like to go to were looted. And now when they walk on the streets, they don't feel safe. So we get it. People are moving away from city centers. I treat mostly young people, so people between ages 20 and 40. These are the people who create businesses, come up with new technology, come up with new ideas. So now they're moving. They can work remotely. Broadband's coming, remote working. The broadband is enough where they can move to. Where'd they go? In New York area, they went to Connecticut, New York State, New Jersey, and Florida. In Florida, I happen to be seeing a lot of them. And this is why I'm making this video, because I realize what's going on. It's taken me a while. It's been, 7 months they've been away from the city center for the reasons I mentioned. What are they not getting? Well, training is not taking place at work like it used to. All the meals, restaurants, shared experiences are not taking place. The bonding, the group formation, it's not happening. It's not happening in the city, but it's still happening. Here's my point. So now you take all these rainmakers, all these, I would call them the cream of the crop, the best our society has to offer. We're in these cities. They were leaders in technology, businesses, and now you spread them out in the suburbs. What are the implications? They put their kids in schools. They've been there for 7 months. They're working broadband. They're working remotely. But now something is happening. They are seeding Florida. They are seeding the suburbs of New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, Florida, and on the West Coast, seeding the areas outside of San Francisco, say 100, 200 miles outside of San Francisco, and the suburbs of LA. They're forming relationships in the bars and the restaurants and the gyms in their local areas. They're forming these new bonds. New businesses are being created with the people in those areas and the people that they're meeting. So the interactions they're having are all over now. The scope and the geography of where these breakthroughs are taking place has spread out. We're getting it in Florida. I see it going on. I was like, what, you met someone at Starbucks and now you're starting a business? Yeah, this is what I'm hearing. And they have these new habits now because now they're not in the city anymore. So here in Florida, they're going to the beach, they're going kayak, and they're bumping into people. And whatever they come in contact with, they're developing new technology, they're developing new computer algorithms to create new businesses from these new areas, their new commute. Everything is happening in these new places. So the city itself is no longer the meeting spot. Around the cooler, around the breakfast place where everyone goes to breakfast in New York or Chicago, LA, that's not where it's happening. It's happening in these outer areas. And it's involving other people. And I don't see them going back. They're putting down roots. Their kids are in school. They're starting businesses. They're making things happen because they have to. And I think you will see an evolution of our whole society where the city centers lose their importance and the new developments, the new businesses, the new technologies, the new businesses will start taking place in these outer areas. So it's a major transition. And I finally came to that conclusion. I've done a video before on why are people showing up at my office in Florida. Sure, the reasons are because they want to get away from getting infected in a city and mass transit and the lockdowns, and their restaurants were looted, blah, blah, blah. And they want to get away from crime. And okay, but what are the implications of them moving and settling down in these new spots? That's just the point I wanted to make. It makes for a good video. I hope you like it. Subscribe, and thank you.